Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerds New Bully. Me host Leroy, aka Don Jiggle, with my co-host.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka Uncle Slam.
There we go. I don't know who that is, but we'll ride with that. I'm all center, but you know what? I like it this way. This might be a new thing, Yeah, and we're back with another episode, and just want to say, praise be to Beyonce on a horse. So yeah. Eli, it was either between that or Megan Thee Stallion's new Instagram video that I meant to show you. All I can say is that
I wouldn't have mind that.
I figured you would. I just put it like this: you may not listen to her music, but she has a great future behind her. So So just want to say today is July, so that means the end of June. So that means that every single corporation, including Outright Geekery, is now throwing away the rainbow. They're like Dorothy on on Wizard of Oz over the rainbow. So now we're back. Everybody's back to normal now, I guess. I do want to say this: corporations. I know you're doing this for commercialism, but when Black History Month comes in, do not get the bright idea to darken whatever you have going on. We don't want to see dark burgers or whatever the fuck you got going on. Please don't do it. Hopefully there's somebody in the front office that will like, maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe don't do that.
Or bad rap versions of
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
the Miles Morales. What if Miles Morales was Thor version of everything?
Right. That's exactly what they're gonna do. We're back with the episode. And first off, let's just talk about it because, like I said, you see the big banner behind us. Technically today is the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. Reason I want to talk about. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you go, guys.
Oh well, before it was July 3rd. So I just want to say,
okay.
I just want to say happy zombie apocalypse day. This is from Return of the Living Dead.
Now, here's the thing. When I think about July 3rd, I think about the day before the aliens attacked Independence Day. That's just me. That's when all hell broke loose.
Oh, okay.
And then the 4th, that's when the president gave that big speech. We will not go silently in the night. And then he jumped in the plane and Randy Quaid, shoved the plane up their asses. That's what I think of. But Return of the Living Dead is. Oh, I did see something. Return of the Living Dead. If you haven't seen it before, it is free on Tubi right now.
Yes.
Eli, do you have Tubi?
I do have Tubi. There's
Tubi
a lot of
is the greatest thing ever. It is so many hood movies on Tubi for free that you can just watch.
Soul Plane. And
that's what it's known for. Shit you've never heard of. And every movie starts the same way. Guns in front of the guy's face, and he just says to the camera, "I bet you wonder how I got here." And that's how the movie starts. What are we talking about? Independence Day. Hold on. Let's see. We got some hot ones. Let's go to callers. You guys noticed there are other metallic Easter eggs on the last episode. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. They come in. We're gonna get to it as fast as possible. Still one of the greatest alien movies I've seen today. Thank you, Helsingborg. I know there's a big thing right now that everybody want to shits on the Independence Day movie. Oh, those movies suck. Those movies weren't that good. At the time when it came out, everybody loved them. Now everybody's jaded. Now everybody old movies, But I know, Eli. I know.
No comment. And I will die on that hill.
Oh man, but yeah, let's keep on talking about. Like I said, we're talking about Independence Day. We're talking about July the 4th. Reason when I'm talking about July 4th because like I said, for people of color, July the 4th is a sensitive topic amongst our communities. I know for me it is black community. Eli, for the Native American community, I'm pretty sure it's a sensitive subject. Do want to talk about it. Like I said, it is a thing that you want to bring up. That keep in mind, we still celebrate. We still barbecue, still get drunk, still get fucked up, still play spades, still play Uno, still meet the family, still go out dancing, do the electric slide, still do all this stuff like that. But you'll never see it.
If it's a day off, and fuck yeah.
And it's a day off and you're getting paid.
I'm a chill.
It's kind of like white supremacists doing Juneteenth. You're getting paid for
it. Yeah, like whatever.
Purge movies are the best independent.
I never thought of that. I suppose.
Honestly, Jay, I'm not disputing you. I need to go back and watch. I need to go back and watch again because you might be onto something. That's a
good idea.
Yeah, but we're going back to that. Now, I do want to say this: if you are, super woke and you hate July the 4th and Independence Day and stuff like that, and you're going to be a Debbie Downer to everybody, and when you come to the cookout, don't come to the cookout. That's all I gotta say. Don't be like, this day isn't made for us. Can you pass the ribs? Like, don't do that. Just stay away from everybody. Let everybody have their fun, And if you're popping fireworks or guns. Be careful, because every year people get their hands blown off. Not just children, adults also. I don't know if because some reason, alcohol and fireworks don't seem to mix.
And for those who are boycotting it, fuck yeah.
Come on, Eli, my fellow American. we can still celebrate. Let's see. Shoot guns in the air all day, right? Not all day. At midnight, even though midnight is already passed. But yeah, if you got guns, shotguns, pistols, whatever you got, let it roll, let it fly. Happy put it in reverse. That's a deep cut. Heisenberg, that's a deep cut. I don't know if everybody knows that one. I know what you're talking about. That's one of those if you know moments. That being said, let's just get into the show, because like I said, we actually got a full show for you. And I know everybody's here to talk about that one thing, that big thing that happened this week, and it's all my timeline's talking about it, but I didn't see it. So I'm going to let Eli take over, because there was a thing that happened with Stranger Things this week, season 4.
Well, it came, the season 4 finale. So volume 2, if you will, came on. And it has been going around.
It's firecracker. It's not a firecracker, Henry. It's not.
Y'all see that? Is that too small? Should I blow
it? Shit. Oh, okay. I wasn't ready, Eli. I wasn't ready.
Special effects. Yeah.
You have evolved. Okay.
So yeah, the new season of Stranger Things, of course, volume 2 came out the other day. Already everyone's talking about it. Everyone, it was great. It was great. We wrapped up the season, last 2 episodes. They were long as fuck. It was 4 hours. 4 hours of these for these
two
last
episodes, right?
Yeah. Yep.
2 apiece. Okay.
And a lot of things happened. Some deaths happened that I kind of pissed me off. I'll get to that later. But a lot of things were revealed. We found out a lot of the origins. We found out that it was Vecna all along.
Hold up. Before you go forward, as Jake just made a comment, I see so many spoilers for this show. I think spoilers are a thing of the past. Just let you know, this is a spoiler review. Eli's going to let it fly. So
I'm spoiling it. I'm going to spoil it. Yeah.
I've never seen it. He's spoiling the shit for me. So, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing he can say that my timeline hasn't already said anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah, so spoiler warning if you have not seen the new Stranger Things, then then it's gonna get spoiled. So, so a lot of things got revealed. We found out the origin of the Upside Down. That was the most important thing, I think. That was revealed that Vecna, or number 1, he was the very first kid that was being experimented on, who gained all these psychic powers. He is the reason that the Upside Down exists, and the Demogorgons and the Demidogs, or the Polywogs, or whatever they're called, and the Thing monsters and all that stuff. It's all connected to him. He's been responsible since pretty much day 1. And 11 had a hand in it. She's the one who defeated him and threw him into that dimension. And he basically had the power to take it over, and has been molding this other dimension in his to his will. And his big plan was to take that dimension over and merge it into our dimension, and then take over our world, which he seems to have. As the season ended, the gates are open. That dimension is now spilling into this one. And that's kind of where it ended. It ended with the cliffhanger. But we also, 11's got her powers back, and she seems to be more powerful than ever, which is what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for her to be like total Phoenix. You know what I'm saying?
Is she evil? Because that's a trope. When the woman gets super powerful, she has become emotionally evil. So is she evil?
Yeah,
or
she was. They kind of alluded to that at the beginning of the season, because she was she had all this like anger in her, and she was doing things. She thought of herself as a monster, and she was responsible for all these, atrocities and these murders. But it turns out she really wasn't. It was, like I said, it was Vecna all along. He's been doing everything. He's been pulling the strings. He acted the hell out of that role. Episode 7, Recruit 11. Who's he talking about?
Let me load it up because I can really see it. Let's see. AKA Scarlet
Scarlet
Witch.
Witch.
Yeah. Number 1 is
as a human. Yeah, as a human, he was the very first experimented child.
Oh, I got you. There's a number 1 and there's a number 11. Okay, yes. that. Okay.
There's also a number 8 who was in season 2 with the punk rock gang. I want her to come back. You know what I mean? But yeah, and then of course there were some deaths. There were some deaths involved. Mainly, like, can I go to that? Let's see.
People, is it people we care about?
Yeah.
Okay.
That. Let's go to. First off, the big death that happened was from a new character, the fan favorite Eddie Munson. He
no,
died.
I don't even know who that guy is. They killed him.
They killed him. I was kind of mad. Everyone was kind of like, because they were kind of teasing. There's going to be some deaths. There were going to be some deaths, and people were like, "Oh no,
damn, Jake, not be... you spoiling it. You tell me you don't want us to spoil it."
Yeah, people were thinking it might be Steve, and we're going to riot if it was Steve, and blah 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 blah. I didn't think it was going to be any of the kids. That was just me. I thought it was the adults were all on the table. I didn't think it was going to be Hopper or Joyce either. I mean, I pretty much thought the Byers family were off the table because they've been through enough. I knew they weren't going to kill any of the kids. But yeah, I thought the adults were pretty much fodder. I thought Murray was going to die. That would have been if Murray died, that would have been harsh. But I didn't expect. Everyone was thinking Eddie might go because he was a new character, but no one wanted him to die, and because he was such a fan favorite, and he would have been a cool new addition moving forward. But they killed him, and I was kind of pissed, you know. And I get it. Yes, deaths create drama and emotion and all that stuff, and it adds stakes to the storyline. But I was really interested in how Eddie's life was going to turn out because he was accused of murder. The whole town hated him. They thought he was a devil worshiper. They thought he had magical Dungeons and Dragons powers because of the whole satanic panic thing. So I was like really wondering how he was going to resolve all that, you know. But then, he just died. And I thought, well, that's fucking convenient. You know, that was just the easy answer because it would have been a more interesting story if he didn't die and still had to redeem his name with everybody hating him and him on the run. So I was like, really, that's what I was really into that storyline. But he got killed off. He went out like a G. He went out like a true metalhead fighting demons in a dark dimension. And he used his guitar. Yes, he used the power of metal to help save the day. In this season, everyone was fragmented. There was all these separate groups doing their separate missions. Eddie and Dustin had to be a distraction. While they were trying to attack Vecna, they had to lead the demon bats away from the house, from his lair. And Eddie did it by playing guitar. He played Metallica's Master of Puppets, which thematically is like the perfect song. Master of Puppets. Vecna has basically been pulling the strings all these years in the town, in the Upside Down. He is been taking over everybody. He is manipulating everybody. So that theme, I mean, that song by Metallica, it's about addiction and, you know, not having control over your addictions and not having control over yourself. That's what that song's about. So I thought it worked very good thematically with, you know, how everybody is like been sort of under control by Vecna, this demon guy in another dimension. So I thought that was pretty cool. And it was a very epic scene. One of the most epic scenes in all of TV, I think.
Max is a Metallica references. Is that what you was talking?
Max is the Metallica references? I don't know. You might have to explain that to me because once Metallica got out of the 80s, I stopped. I have a very volatile relationship with that band. I will admit that there was a time that I did think Metallica ruled.
Did Metallica ever do a song with Run DMC?
No, they did one with Jay-Z though. Oh no, Jay-Z, Ja Rule.
Okay, then I wouldn't know that. So I don't know any Metallica songs.
But she can see, she can't see, feel, hear, move. Oh, I get what you're saying. So Henry, yes. So Max, I will say when Max, quote unquote, died, that was quite emotional. I actually choked up, especially Lucas's reaction to it. You got to give it up to these actors. That's the thing. These kids acting, they give great performances. And Luke,
Ja Rule shit. For a year and a half, Jake, Ja Rule was the shit. He was everywhere.
Vidi Vici.
That was a halfway decent album. Yeah.
Wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad. Yeah.
But yes, when Max, got killed, but then 11 brought her back. But Lucas crying over and reacting to her, that was very powerful. I thought that was a great scene, and it actually gave me chills, and I actually got a little moved by it. But of course, 11 brought her back. So she's in a coma now. She's not technically dead, but she is in a coma. But her death was still enough to break open the doorways, the gateways to the upside
But they
down.
could still bring her back for the next season.
Yeah, I'm sure she's not all
music.
the way dead. Yes, there was a scene where they're in Eddie's room and they're trying to find music for Nancy. I think they were looking for music for Nancy because she was going to go face Vecna, and they needed a song to remind you of the real, to emotionally attach you to the real world and good memories. And they're looking for music for her, and they're at Eddie's house, the metalhead, and they're like, "We need some good music, or we need."
Did
music.
They do another Kate Bush song?
No. Well, that did play. That song did play. But then Eddie holds up an Iron Maiden album, Peace of Mind, says, "This is music." It's pretty funny. And yeah. But yeah, Max ends up going into a coma. She can't see, she can't hear, she's paralyzed, which, as Henry has pointed out, is the song One by Metallica. So there's that song One. It's based on the novel Johnny Got His Gun, about a guy in the war, World War I, who gets his arms and legs blown off, and he can't see or hear or speak, and he's got no legs. So it's a quite tragic anti-war story that Metallica wrote a song about. And
you ain't got no legs, Captain Dan. I don't know why I'm thinking of that.
But yeah, good one, Henry. I didn't think that deeply.
The separate remakes that the show did, yeah.
Oh yeah, they did Journey. Yes, there was they do all that 80s songs. And speaking of 80s songs, Leroy, you said.
Oh shit! I was hoping you forget, man.
So Leroy, he sends me the Upside Down playlist. I guess Spotify will custom make you a song to fight Vecna or whatever.
Right, and they based off your, I guess, listening habits or something. Don't Stop Believing. So they did do Journey on there. Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Eli, I just pulled it up because just in case if you remembered, I pulled up the list.
All right, so I got mine. Yeah, go ahead with yours.
Okay, I would just show it because I can't remember on top of my head. Okay, so here's my Upside Down playlist. Okay, let's see. I don't know if anybody can see that, but we're gonna zoom in on it. Okay, so the first thing on there is Jack Harlow, Dua Lipa. The singer Dua Lipa, he made a song basically.
She's hot as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, he just made a song saying he want to have sex with her. That's what the song is. So I guess I'm dead. It's a catchy little jingle.
Oh, it's not her song.
It's not her song. It's his song about her. Like the other rapper made a song about Halle Berry. It's kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a catchy little tune. I don't like the album too much, but I like that one song. What is next on there? Driving Miss Daisy, Logic. Look, I got a lot of weird taste on you guys. If you got me last week, I would have had like Marvel's Capcom soundtrack on here, some shit, or Avengers, Assemble, some bullshit like that. But yeah, this is not a good list. I would die if this monster tried to catch me. Because I'm not. If he chased me after Jack Harlow, I'm not gonna make it. So yeah. So
well, I can't. I don't have like my thing pulled up.
Let me see if I can get you. Let me see if I can get you on
there.
Okay.
Me, like
get first... you. Okay. What's the I can if Flip, you got porn. Yeah, just
let me get the porn off.
Okay.
Okay, so you can see Zar. I like the new
Hey,
Zarface.
I did have some Zarface on mine, but it was like way at the bottom.
That's a #1 song. That's because I was just listening to that. I got some Sodom. There's no thrash metal.
Sodom. Okay.
Christian death metal. Fulci. Some slam death metal. Severe torture. There's the song they added. They added.
He can't have worse, Jake.
I got Bring the Noise.
You got Bring the Noise, Public Enemy.
I basically got a bunch of death metal on my.
Hey, you would live. You would live. I would die.
Yeah. Yeah, some Alice in Chains. There's that Kate Bush song they threw on there.
Which one, Babushka?
You
got Run Up Hill. Okay.
Some Abysmal Dawn.
I was actually listening to Kate Bush this week, and it didn't show up on my playlist.
I got some Cypress Hill on there.
I should have some Cypress Hill on mine.
Got some Helmet. Got some Alice in Chains. Some more Chris. Yeah, Christian just dropped a new album, so I've been jamming on them. Some more High
So
Command.
if they drop You in Hell, you would survive, basically.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of death metal and thrash metal and some hip hop thrown in.
Let's see what we got. I throw Madhouse in. Oh no! You can't throw it in.
It's whatever. It's
got to be on the list. Yeah, you can't pick it.
Yeah,
that's the whole point of the playlist. It selected it for you, so you can't. Now, if I could pick my own music, I survive. I throw some Biggie and Pac on there. Throw some old school Nas, and then I probably live on that shit. Throw some Ja Rule on there. The Vidja Game shit, whatever that shit was. Yeah, I'd live through that.
Yeah, my #1 song, Two Live Crew. Hey, we want some puss.
I got in trouble in school for that song, but okay.
Big booty hoes, up with it.
Come get up with it. Anyway, back to the show.
But anyways, Stranger Things, the new season was great. It was a lot of fun. And season 5 probably a couple of years away, but it's going to be the last season.
I mean, the kids are getting old enough. I mean, hell, at this point, the next season gonna be about their kids. So yeah,
yeah, they're getting pretty old.
Yeah. So, we're gonna stick with you, Eli. Like, can I get back in there?
Can you?
There we go. All right, so we're gonna stick with Eli because you got some more stuff you want to talk about. We're going to the Paper Girls. I don't know what this is, but if you could break this down for me.
So speaking of Stranger Things, actually this came out.
I saw the trailer. It was very Stranger Things.
Yeah, well, this is Brian K. Vaughan's comic book.
Same guy did Runaways. Okay.
Yeah, he did this book about these girls in the 80s on a paper route on Halloween night that uncover some weird alien other dimension shit going on. And we're not seeing stuff done from the Duffer Brothers. I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure they got all the show in the wraps. Yeah.
They're the ones who keep Netflix alive right now. But yeah, Paper Girls was a comic written by Brian K. Vaughan. I didn't finish it because I don't ever finish Brian K. Vaughan shit. It's a lot.
He's extensive.
Yeah,
prolific.
Saga, Why the Last Man. What else has he done that I?
Like I said, I started Runaways. I didn't finish it. No, I did finish the first run of Runaways. When he picked the run back up 3 years later, I was like, nah, I got enough of it. Yeah. I stuck with Paper Girls for a while, for about a year before I dropped off. So But anyways, Amazon, I believe, is making the show. So yeah, and like I said, it came out prior. Paper Girls is Runaways from Marvel. Regardless of what you think about the TV show, the comic was awesome. TV show, I kind of fell off on that, but yeah.
But yeah, Paper Girls looks pretty cool. Ali Wong, she's funny. I'll check her out. She's in it. And just girls doing weird alien stuff, adventure shit in the 80s. So it's got a very huge Stranger Things vibes, even though it came out before Stranger Things. So actually, when I started watching Stranger Things, I said, "Hey, this is like that comic Paper Girls." That I never finished.
Brian K. Vaughan was like that also. Hey, this is very much like my comic book.
So yeah, I'll check it out. It can't,
like I said, that's the streaming wars for you. If something gets hot, everybody's gonna do it. I mean, like I said, Game of Thrones hot on HBO, and I think Amazon Prime has something. They're throwing a shit ton of money. Oh yeah, Lord of the Rings, but no nudity. And people are mad about that because they want to see troll penis or something. I don't know what the
Yeah,
fuck.
they want Game of Thrones.
Yeah, they want Game of Thrones.
Yeah, they want Lord of the Rings with fucking.
Yeah, y'all are weird, man. That's all I can say.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't finish the comic, but it was cool for a while. And yeah, it's like I said, I the reason why I love Stranger Things is because I was a kid at that age. These kids are in that show in the 80s. That was my time. I'm an 80s baby. That's when I grew up, and watching,
orc dick.
Yeah, we need sex. We need more interspecies erotica between dwarves and elves.
It's on the internet, people. Just Google.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it reminds me of all my favorite shit: The Goonies, Explorers, Gremlins, Kids, Monster Squad, The Lost Boys, kids in dangerous situations, going on adventures because their parents aren't around, because that's how it was in the 80s. Our parents were never around. We had no parental guidance. We were always outside doing some shit that probably would either got us killed or arrested, that we'll never talk about.
Yeah, because there was no reason being inside. We didn't have video games and cell phones and iPads and shit like that. So there was nothing to keep us inside. When they have fun, go outside.
Yeah. And if you broke your arm, you broke your leg, you just deal with it. Don't tell it. Don't tell your parents, because you get your ass whooped.
The medicine for everything. Walk it off.
Yeah, walk it off. Yeah, we're from the suck it up generation.
Right.
We had therapy. There were no Amber Alerts. Kids just went missing. That's we didn't wear seatbelts or helmets. We got fucked up, and if you cried, you were a pussy.
Right.
It's the 80s, man.
80s sound terrible. I mean, now looking back at it, but hey, we made it out okay.
Yeah.
Not even talking about our cartoons. We had cartoons of RoboCop and Rambo. I mean, hell, Rambo had PTSD, shot up Vietnam. RoboCop shot up a crack house, but they had cartoons.
Toys, yeah. R-rated movies. Yeah. There were toy lines for R-rated movies.
They did not give a fuck. Just
we were just hard, man. We were just hard. We just rolled hard.
Oh man. Oh man. All right, so we're moving on past that. Like I said, you brought this up to my attention also. We're going to talk about the Harley Quinn trailer. Harley Quinn trailer drop.
Yeah, season 3.
Yeah, it drops at the end of this month. The season 3 drops at the end of this month. I don't know how people have been catching up with Harley Quinn. Awesome show. We love it. We talked about it. Season 3 and season 2, the whole thing is about Harley and Poison Ivy getting together. Now they're together. And that's the thing. I'm hoping, I don't want to see them have a will they or won't they or fallout and I want them to have a happy relationship through this season 3. If you're gonna do that bullshit in season 4, fine. Season 3, let them be happy and just get into hijinks, stuff like that. It's okay for them to be together. You don't have to break up a relationship every single time,
or just trying to juggle the relationship while they're doing whatever they're doing. They're hijinks,
right?
Because they're
let them be
villains.
on one page. Yeah. Let them be super villains. Let them have fun doing what they're doing. Nightwing will be in it. I wish I had a post of it, but the voice actor just took a picture of him with his ass out, because that's what Nightwing does,
You see James Gunn?
I saw James Gunn. He was sitting on Clayface. Clayface was like, please sit on my face. Did you see Swamp Thing? And Abby Arcane. Yeah, they were making out and they were like, ugh. Now, I'll be honest with you, that is a classic story right there when Swamp Thing and Abby Arcane have sex. That is a weird, trippy story. So I want to see how Harley Quinn does that story. So yeah,
she's got to eat his yams.
Yeah, she eat his yams, and they
I want to see what they do with this, man.
It's weird. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, it is weird. But then I want to see what the show does with it, because
it's so weird. They actually arrest her. Gotham City arrests her, and then Swamp Thing get my wife back. So Batman you and I get your wife back because she can't fuck a plant. Whatever.
Oh man, the Court of Owls, the orgy. It's orgy.
The Court of Owls. I knew it was something I forget. They were like, hey, "Who's here for the orgy?" And
I busted out laughing. I can't wait for this show. I love it. It's just hilarious.
Oh man, what the fuck? We talk about the boys? Nothing really talk about.
You know what? I was so busy. I didn't watch the new episode yet. So
I mean, it was cool. It had a big shocker at the end of it, big spoiler at the end of it. But for the most part, this show was just, Soldier Boy saying, "We hunt my guys down. I hope you kill Thunderbolts." He was just hunting more of his team down. That's
we went into the boys last week. We talked about it. Are we talking about the boys? Didn't we have something to talk about the boys?
Oh yeah, we did have something to talk about the boys, but not that. But we had something.
Yeah.
So Swamp Thing moves from the 80s, and Dr. Arcane scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Yeah, the Wes Craven one.
Yeah, not the Heather Locklear one. I don't think
that
so.
one. That one's. I did watch that on Tubi and recently, and I was like, God damn, this isn't as cool as I remember it.
Even I was like, this movie sucked, man.
Like I even watched the show. There was a TV show, the Swamp.
There was a TV show, and the same guy that did the Swamp Thing actor was the same guy in the TV show. Yeah, same guy.
There was even a cartoon, and a toy line.
I barely remember that. I barely remember the cartoon.
I remember the cartoon. There was the native guy with the big giant grenade launcher that shot a fucking giant arrow the size of a stop sign. I thought was stupid as fuck.
Oh shit! I gotta find it. Is that on Tubi?
Maybe that's the cartoon.
I'll track it down. I want to see it. You sold me on that. USA Work, you right, say acted. And he had a weird name like Dick Durock or some
Dick
shit
Durock,
like that.
That was his name.
Yeah. Like, what kind of name are you? Maybe you be in the wrong profession. You need
Dick Durock. He's an ex-porn star.
Right. Who's ready to be mind blow? Nikki Cunningham.
We're pretty jaded, yo. You have to work hard for that.
Not for me. Maybe for him. But what are we talking about? We get off track. The boys tell we had an artist that did like a Vine. Yeah.
There was a toy line. I remember some of the toys. My brothers.
Oh, the toys. I read it as the boys, but yeah. Yeah, he sold me on this cartoon. Yeah.
Swamp Thing and the Unman or something it was called.
Yeah, shout out to Dick Durock. I remember that name, man.
Dick Durock. Just like Dick Buckus.
Right. Where are we with this thing? Okay, yeah. I think this is
Harley Quinn.
Not that.
Oh, what's this boys thing we were talking about?
The boys thing. I can't find it. Just talk about it. We'll go to it. Where I'll find it.
What was? Oh, it was about people. Some people not realizing that Homelander is the villain.
Yeah. So yeah, the right wingers basically confuse the show, not knowing that Homelander is the bad guy. So they just not figuring out after the show kind of beat you over the head with it after a while.
And they're boycotting the show. They're like, hey, what the hell is this woke shit?
Right. Because they thought the show was about them. Fuck this. I'm going back to Miss Marvel. Like, no. I haven't done the work research and crunch out the numbers. I think I know the conclusion of Stranger Things. It already concluded. So, you mean next season? Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's what she meant by mind blown. What the fuck was I thinking about? Never mind. Thanks for listening. Let's see. Eli sold me on this as well. Okay. So what we were talking about is that there is a group out there that is upset that they just find out that Homelander is the villain of the show. And I'm trying to see if I can find that picture. Because it really jumped off with this. Let me see if I can get it. I can't find it. It's okay. Yeah, here we go. This picture that jumped off there. Because a certain time, this is a real picture that came from that. This happened like November 20th, right before. No, that was right after the election, and everybody was upset, And I think they did get the joke. I think they did relate that. Look, Homelander is Trump. I don't know if anybody realized that, but that's what it is. He's been that since season 1. But they're really beating you over the head with the 9, especially if you watch the last episode. Homelander's Trump. That's just all there is to it, because he's like spreading, what do you call alternative facts? The mainstream media is against them. Everybody's just believing whatever he says, even though it's not true. It doesn't matter. So yeah, that's what they're going with that. Let's see. Are the right wingers ever happy?
They will be tomorrow.
So that state is going about that. But like I said, I think they get the joke. I don't think they're upset about it. I think they understand Trump is Homelander. I don't think they mind that their hero is a villain.
I think what about Homelander as a character is Homelander. The only thing that's keeping Homelander from not being a total fucking piece of shit. I mean, he is, but he's reined in by the corporations. He's reined in by all these rules.
Right.
And I think that's the only thing that is keeping him from just going all out, megalomaniac fucking psycho.
But the rules in the corporation are starting to unravel around him. So even that thing holding it back no longer is holding it back. So he's becoming even more of an asshole than he was before.
So I can understand somebody thinking, oh, I'm a slave to my job. I'm a slave to all these rules and blah, 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 blah. And, no one understands me, and no one lets me be all
Yeah.
I can be and shit. And
Yeah, it's weird. Public opinion is his kryptonite.
Yeah, pretty
So,
much.
yeah.
He's yeah.
Reminds me of Magneto was right movement that Marvel did. Yeah, but Magneto was right. That's
Just an asshole.
Yeah, it's just an asshole. You know how they say like a terrorist to some, hero to some. You know how it is. Let's see what we got. How similar the show to the comic. The more the show goes on, the least similar it becomes to the comic. Especially with Black Noir. Like he's nothing like he was in the comic. I won't spoil it if you decide to read the comic, but they went completely different directions with that. So, and the first season kind of, but now not really.
Yeah, the comic's a blueprint. They do touch on the main theme of the comics, but the show is its own thing.
So first off, Soldier Boy is nothing like he is in the comics. First off, Homelander was fucking Soldier Boy in the comics. No, that's not happening in this show. Yeah. So that's my thing. So I guess we move on past that. I guess we said what we're gonna say about that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Watch the boys. Good show. Next episode is actually the last episode of this season finale.
Okay.
They're wrapping up just that quick. I saw clips of the animated show. Looks good. The animated show is good. The Diabolical. Yeah. Garth Ennis wrote one of those episodes.
Yeah, I've seen a couple. They're fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Plan to go back for it. You guys catch it by chance. Yeah. So like I said, I made it as far as to the Garth Ennis episode, and something happened. I think I saw the very last one where Homelander and Black Noir fight, but that was about it. So yeah. Let's move on past it. We're gonna talk about the Vidja Game section now. Let's talk about the Vidja Game section. There is a thing happening right now that has pissed me off, and I just want to briefly talk about it. Xbox is doing a sweepstakes. And they're doing sweepstakes for a item you will never get. Because they're doing a sweepstakes for an Xbox shaped Mjolnir, you know, that you can win. All you got to do is just follow Xbox on Twitter and retweet it. Keep in mind, you're not going to win an Xbox Mjolnir. You're not going to win an Xbox at all. You can't even find an Xbox if you want to pay $500 for one. Like, you just can't go to the store. Just give me one. You can't find it. So how did he gonna win one with a sweepstakes?
Is there a Thor? Is there a Thor game?
No. This is a promotion for the movie. You know, there's a Thor movie coming out this week.
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I knew there's a Thor movie. I just like, why is Xbox promoting the Thor the movie and not the game?
Yeah, just cross promotion. That's
like,
all.
Why would I want a Thor Xbox when I can't play a Thor game?
True, but come on, it's a Thor Xbox. It's just to play it, just to say you have one, you know. But like I said, you're not gonna win one.
I have the power.
Oh, you can't even lift it, then you feel bad.
Can't even lift it. You can't swing it or throw it.
Yeah. So I tell you what, since Xbox didn't give you anything, we're gonna run a sweepstakes. Anybody that shares and likes this podcast on any social media platform will have a chance to win this Xbox Mjolnir sweepstakes. Yeah. So if I win one, you might have a chance of getting one from me. Maybe. I'll put a disclaimer down at the bottom to say you ain't winning this shit. So yeah.
And there's no limit to how many times you can share.
Exactly. Thanks for listening. But funny you said that, Eli, about the Thor game, because technically there is a Thor game, kind of. Hold on, let's go to the calls before I get to it. Before I get to my next thought. Where you're giving out free Xbox. No, I said you have a chance of winning a free Xbox. That's the disclaimer. So if you share, you may win one. If we get our hands on one. Yeah. You may have already won. You never know. But the funny thing you said about the Eli, because you asked about a Thor game, is a Thor game coming out, and technically you might be onto something. Because here's the thing. So yes, this is the Thor that they want us to think we want. This isn't the Thor we want. This isn't the most excited Thor we're getting for 2022. This is the Thor we're most excited for 2022. For those that don't know, Dad Bod Thor. That's what we want. But of course, that's not coming to Xbox. It's coming to PlayStation. That is coming to the new God of War Ragnarok. And it's supposedly due out this year. You know, and yes, Thor is one of the boss fights in that game. So yes, you're going to kill and fight Thor. You know, but the thing is that they didn't release a release date for it. So fans are getting a little bit upset about that. And one of the the heads of the Sony studios had a complaint just on Twitter about how fans are sending her dick pics, you know, asking for the Ragnarok release date. thinking that's going to do it.
Okay,
That's not going to work. That never works. Stop doing that, please. Not just to her. And why are you doing it to her? Why don't you? Corey Barlog is a dude over God of War. Send him dick pics if you want to get something done. I'm not saying send him a dick pic. Don't put my name in there.
Yes, we have a rule. It's not written, but it's a rule, right? Like, do not send dick pic. If you ask yourself, are you a male porn star?
Right.
And if your answer is no, do not send dick pics ever.
Right. And if you are a male porn star, and if you're that proud of yourself swinging, still don't send it to her. Start an OnlyFans page. You can do that now. Get money off of it.
Let me clarify. Not sending, taking dick pics.
Right. Right. Don't even right. Not taking dick pics. Don't send dick pics. Don't even take dick pics. But if you take dick pics, don't send dick pics. But if you're that proud of it, start an OnlyFans, start a fundraiser, do whatever like that. If you're that proud of it, don't send them to people. Here's the thing, because the internet is so new, technically that's sexual assault. You just sending dick pics to random people. It's just like in the 70s or 80s where the dude used to have a trench coat and like to flash people. It's not cool. Eventually, you're gonna get caught and you're gonna get convicted.
Yeah, send them all to me and I'll post them. I'll rate them.
That'll be on our OnlyFans page. Wait, do we still see the pics not to protest? Are we allowed to send? No. Yes. Don't send any more pics, Jake. To her.
No one wants to see your dick.
Nobody wants to see it. Like I said, if you're that proud of it, set up another page, set up and run it, but don't send them random to people. Like I said, what do they say? If you build it, they will come. I might get flagged for that, but yeah, whatever. All right. That's all I got to say on the Vidja Game section. We got off subject with that one. Now we can move on to the next part of the podcast. Like I said, it's Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about the comic books, and we're just going to jump into it. And since today's the July 4th, I wanted to do something patriotic, but I didn't know where to go. So I guess, Eli, I should be the one to go first.
Sure.
I'll go
since
first.
You're feeling patriotic.
I am, my fellow American.
Are you proud?
I
boy?
I am not a proud boy, even though the leader, that guy, is black, but we're not going to go there. Yeah. So like I said, I was looking for a Captain America book, and technically I found 1.5. Funny thing about this Captain America book, and I'm going to see if I'll start it off, Eli. I'll start it off this week because I know you always started off, so I'll start off this week. So I was looking for a Captain America book, and normally there actually wasn't a Captain America book released this week, but Comixology, in all their brilliance, released one this week. So good on them. They finally did one good thing, right? Even though it wasn't supposed to be released this week. So, but it's not Captain America you think. It's the other Captain America.
The newer one or whatever.
Yeah. That Captain America. That's the one that they released. I can't find a picture of it. That's okay. So Sam Wilson, Captain America. They released that book this week. So we're going to talk about that book. This is the second part of it. I actually didn't read the first book. So we're going to read this one. And basically, it's kind of like they're fighting White Wolf. We're going to talk about White Wolf. And let me see where we're going to get into it. Yeah, here we go. The name of the book is Symbol of Truth. It's Captain America Symbol of Truth. And even you may not care about Captain Falcon, but Deadpool's in the book. So you got 2
to make you care about the book.
To make you care, exactly. So it's a team up. It's a superhero team up, So let's just get into it. Let's talk about Captain America Symbol of Truth #2. So basically what this book is about is and so you got here Crossbones and the White Wolf. Apparently Sam Wilson last issue thwarted their plans. They were smuggling super soldier serum through a train, through immigrants, and like using them as drug mules. And Crossbones like, look, I'm bored. I want to kill Captain America. When I'm going to kill Captain America, we'll go to Captain America. He's in Latveria. And he finds Deadpool chained up, getting tortured by Latverian soldiers. So he frees him. We go the next day. But this will happen 2 days earlier when they find out about that caravan they got that they thwarted, with White Wolf's plans. And he's talking to some senator. And basically said the senator is like, we trying to keep this under. I'm skipping this shit. I don't care. Look. More Deadpool. Let's fight Deadpool. Okay, so yeah.
Freeze as in freedom him. Like sets him free. Not freeze as in like make him cold.
Yeah, he freezes him. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah,
You say he
like
freezes
freedom.
him.
Yeah,
He
like freedom
freezes him.
isn't
I'm
free.
like, oh, he
Yeah,
froze Deadpool. Okay.
yeah. So right. He unchains Deadpool. Some more soldiers come in. Deadpool gets
Deadpool
loose.
Unchained. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. They're still shooting the shit out of Deadpool, and then Deadpool just goes to work on him. You can look at Sam's face. He like, oh shit. He doesn't say it, but you can see it. And meanwhile, on the left, you can see like blood and guys screaming and shit. So yeah, he bled. They don't show it, but Deadpool's going to work on those guys. Okay, and then just see a whole bunch of dead bodies left on. He's like, look, I'm extracting you out of here. We got to get to the top. You're like, and he's like, cool. Okay, but why are you here? Why are you? Because I had this thing under control. He like, basically, they got some super soldier serum out, and and I'm trying to get a lead on it. And Deadpool's just like, okay, that's cool. Skim past it because there's some shit I don't care about. Oh yeah, since Sam Wilson is Captain America, there's another dude that's Falcon. If you didn't know that, I don't care about the story. We'll cut to it later on. Yeah. So basically, Captain America and Deadpool are just beating the shit out of people. And Deadpool is telling him that the reason I'm here in Latveria because I was on a hunt myself. I'm looking for this ex-smuggler, this white supremacist that is into high-tech technology. He's like, well, what kind of stuff is he into? And he's into vibranium. So they're like, whoa. So there's somebody out here sneaking vibranium. Oh, yeah, his sister, and he said, I don't care. Yeah. Oh yeah, so they're shooting it out and they're just shooting the shit out of everybody. So basically they have a vibranium smuggler out there right now. So that's what Deadpool is doing right now. He's on a mission. More sad shit, don't care. Oh, this shit I do care about. Okay, so anyway, they find the guy that was in charge of the train smuggling last week. They caught him, and meanwhile Falcon is interrogating him. They get the alarm that the base is being attacked. So they go find the base, and while they go get the base, two guards stay behind and talk to this guy. He's like, "Oh, y'all gonna free me? And y'all gonna do that thing?" And the guy shoot him, And then they radio in, "We got him." So obviously, White Wolf send guys in there to kill him, to take him out. And then he gets his cousin. He flies out, or his sister, whatever, like that. And while they fly out of there, White Wolf and Crossbones looking at, "Where should we go after him?" You're like, "Nah, we got him on the run. That's all that matters." So anyway. Captain America and Deadpool shoot their way out of the base. They get on a helicopter and they fly off. And they're like, and Wade telling bad jokes and shit like that. Hey, we should team up. We should call ourselves Wilson and Wilson, like a law firm. And whatever. You see, they get stopped by helicarriers, but it's not S.H.I.E.L.D. because S.H.I.E.L.D. no longer exists in the Marvel Universe. Nazi Captain America took care of that. So they got to pull over because they're being pulled over. And that's when Cap saying, Wade, don't say anything stupid. These aren't the bad guys you're looking for. And that's when you say, bad guys? What the fuck you talking about, bad guys? And that's when you see Dr. Doom. He like, first off, I see a mercenary and a terrorist in my backyard running covert ops without my permission, which I call me the bad guy. And y'all think you're going to break laws in my country and leave? Nah, that ain't going to happen. To be continued. And the next issue is Deadpool and Sam fighting Dr. Doom, I guess. So that's my Captain America book. Yeah. I'm not sticking with this. I don't give a shit. Yeah. If Deadpool is in it or not. I just read it because it's July the 4th. Did good with the character. He did. I didn't like his Crossbones costume, but I did like him before he became costume. And he should have been a Punisher. Frank Miller should have been a Punisher.
That's true.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he would have made a good Punisher.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I got with that one. And it was, I'm not sticking with either one of these Captain America books. For those who don't know, they got two Captain America books going at the same time. They have a Steve book and they have a Sam book, and they basically come out every other week. So yeah, and they don't deal with each other right now, but I'm pretty sure they'll converge into each other sooner or later. So yeah. So cool. Yeah, what you got?
I will do Han and Chewie number 3.
Cool. Buddy cop book. Yeah. It may not be, but I think it's a buddy cop book.
Oh shit, wrong picture.
11. I've never seen the show. Know who that is.
Nope, wrong picture. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay.
There we go.
All right. So yeah, Han and Chewie number 3. This is just a crime caper featuring Han Solo and Chewbacca going on a mission, doing some crimes with Greedo. And then he goes back to Corellia and meets an old man who turns out to be Han Solo's dad. So they're all on this job together. So Jabba the Hutt has hired Han, Chewie, and Greedo, even though they don't like each other. Greedo had the information. That's the only reason why he's on this fucking job, to go steal the ashes of one of his rivals, because Jabba just likes, putting his enemies on display. So they go to this planet. They go to Corellia, which is Han Solo's home planet, where he runs into a guy working the shipyards. It turns out to be his dad.
There's other way they make the ships for Star Wars. And stuff. Empire.
And there's actually a neat little moment where Han Solo takes his dad onto the Millennium Falcon. He says, "Oh, you're on one of these freighters. We built these things. You know what? I might have built this. I might have helped put this together." So I thought that was kind of a cool moment. But anyways, they're after this urn, this ashes. They break into the place they think it's at. Turns out the vault is empty, and then they're like, surrounded by the cops. They basically escape the cops, and then take off to go find where they believe the ashes are on another planet. But they end up ditching Greedo. So that was kind of funny. Han Solo double crosses Greedo. So they head to the other planet, find who they think they are, who has it, and basically they deny it. And they say, "Oh, we know they have it." So they end up breaking in. They end up breaking into the place to try and steal the ashes, but then it's not there. But then Han Solo's dad gets shot in the back. And it turns out to be Black Chrysanthemum.
Wow.
The black Wookiee from
the evil Wookiee,
the evil Chewbacca from people of
Boba Fett,
from the book of Boba Fett. He's been appearing in the comics too. So yeah, that's where it ends. So yeah, this is just a cool little crime story, gangster shit. They're on they're outlaws doing crime. Han Solo back in his doing gritty grime shit. And it's fun, and having his dad there reminds me of like the Indiana Jones and Sean Connery shit. So yeah, I'm digging this. It's a 4 out of 5. I think it's a fun story, and we're seeing, the more scum and villainy side of Star Wars, which I feel like the shows and movies are afraid to really showcase. But yeah, I'm digging this story. So yeah, 4 out of 5.
Nice. Okay. Okay. Next book I'm going to do is an X-Men book, and I haven't been keeping up with this one, so I'm going to try to do it as best I can. X-Men Red. For those that don't know what X-Men...
I stopped reading this. The Mars one or whatever.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, so this is X-Men on Mars. I kind of picking up the pieces of where it's going. Honestly, I've been listening to Gomer and this Geeks and Comics kind of figure out what's going on in there, because they've been keeping up with the book because they love X-Men. So yeah, so that's going on with that one. So we're going to go with that one. Let's see. The book is, if you see it, you see Sunspot and some rock dude's hand, but none of that matters. I'm going to skip over this shit. We're going to move past that. Anyway, what happened in the last book, according to what I think happened, is that Magneto beat a guy on the council to earn a spot on the council himself. His name was Tarn, the guy he beat. And the way he beat him, because Magneto wasn't supposed to beat the guy, the reason he beat him because of Iska the Unbeatable. Her power is she can't lose. So Sunspot tricked her into betting on Magneto. So since she bet on Magneto, Magneto couldn't lose, because if Magneto lost, she lost. So she won. Now, since Sunspot tricked her, she killed Sunspot. So he's an X-Men. He comes back, so it don't even matter, And we're going to move past that. So basically, they're debating on whether or not, anybody from Korra should even be on the Quiet Council. They might not even call it Quiet Council. They call it something else. What do they call it? Great Circle or some shit? Great Ring. The Great Ring. They don't call it Quiet Council. The Great Ring. Okay. Mm-hmm. So he's saying, look, I'm sitting in for Storm right now. Storm is handling other business right now. Like, what business she got bigger than this? Like, she is like head of Mars. And so when galactic shit pops off, she's our ambassador. She's got to do that. Sunspot is revived because it's going to be what killed him last time. I'm just going to go over the story. I don't care. Let's cut to Storm, where Storm is right now. Storm is in the Shi'ar Empire right now. She's been called in there, and not just her. It's like some kind of conference meeting that everybody's got to deal with. And she runs into her ex-husband, T'Challa. So T'Challa's there, but T'Challa's not there. He's actually a hologram. because the Galactic Empire of Wakanda is supposed to be at this meeting also. He's like, so I can't be there in person. I'm gonna do a hologram. So he sees Storm, and they're like, hey, how you doing? Storm, I thought we said there was gonna be no more secrets between us. So why is it when I read the Daily Bugle that the X-Men have a way to, resurrect people? So their secret of resurrection is out. Everybody knows it now, And Storm is just like, oh, did you read it from the Daily Bugle? Or did you send one of your spies on my planet to figure that shit out? Because I thought you talking about no secrets. Meanwhile, you lying to my face all the time. So don't talk. And I'm not doing this shit to get secrets from Wakanda or spill your stuff like that. I just want you to be straight up with me and quit acting like I'm so stupid I can't figure out when you trying to play games with me. Well, everything's a game. So they walk in. So they get through with their little argument. So basically, T'Challa and Storm's relationship right now, complicated. So let's move on. So we're at the meeting, and what you got here is Hulkling, holding Excelsior, but they legally can't call it Excelsior. Nova, and yes, that is Dick Rider Nova. Yeah. and the Super Guardian Oracle. So she's running the meeting right now. Oh, and the yellow ball, he's a thing too. The Great Rim or some shit. I might be fucking his name, but whatever. But he's a thing. Anyway, they're at the meeting, and she basically says that the Empress Xandra is dead. She's just been assassinated. And like, what? And everybody like, oh shit, I didn't know that. So nobody knew that the Empress was assassinated. Except T'Challa. I feel like he knew, but he pretend like he don't know. And she said what happened was that the only reason I know she died because there was this, when she died, she let out this psychic scream that was so loud that I couldn't ignore it. And it looked like it blasted like right past me. So it was like all over the place, So they thinking like, so does anybody know? Like nobody knows. But the thing is, if people find out what's going to happen, it's going to be a power grab, and a war is going to break out, and trillions of people will die if they find out that there's nobody sitting on the throne of the Shi'ar Empire. Like the whole galaxy and universe could, could get millions. It might even affect Earth because it might be so bad, And as a challenge is like, look, I know I'm not supposed to say anything about this, but I think everybody in this room knows that the Empress of the Shi'ar Empire is Charles Xavier's daughter. And if she had a psychic blast like this, then she's obviously a mutant. So I'm pretty sure everybody's thinking what I'm thinking. Why don't y'all just bring her back? Put her in the front line of her core, just be done with it. More Sunspot, don't care. Move past that. And they basically go through a whole debate about why they should bring her back, why they shouldn't bring her back. This ball actually brings up a good point. She was like, why, what, we're going to put an immortal ruler in front of it? Because this war that was brewing before she sat on the throne, and is eventually going to come to point anyway. So whether we bring her back or don't bring her back, the war is inevitable. And plus, what are we going to do? Put an immortal ruler on the throne that we can't get rid of? Like, that's not right. What's the point of death if that's going to happen? So I say just leave it dead. And Magneto, I'm gonna say Magneto also. Ain't talking about shit. Skipping on that. So yeah, so Nova puts his 2 cents in. Nova just like, yeah, I brought back the Nova Corps also when they died, but then the Annihilation will wipe them out again. But you know what? If I had a chance, I'd actually do it again. And so I'm just like, good, because we already did it. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Yeah, we've already brought her back. Like, how did you even know she was dead? You ain't supposed to know. We didn't tell anybody. Y'all got spies here? Like, no, we don't have spies. Just think about it. If Xandra put out a psychic blast strong enough that you heard it, then obviously the blast wasn't meant for you. It was meant for him, her dad. And you go to Charles, and he's getting the psychic scream himself, and it hits him so hard he's bleeding from the nose, and he just mentally telepaths the 5 and sends it. He like, y'all get on this right now. Don't wait. Bring my daughter back. And so it's like, well, this was a cool meeting, but we're done. And look, and you need to quit be acting so shocked about what mutants can do. The more you understand our miracles, the less surprised you'll be. Have a nice day, And then Nova just like, let me find out what y'all doing on Mars. She's like, okay, cool. You can check it out. And that's it. Some more shit with Sunspot. But oh yeah, this shit with Magneto. Magneto offers them immortality on Mars. He's like, look, the same shit we got at Krakoa, we can do this for y'all. And they laugh him. They laugh at him. They laugh him out the room. They're like, we don't want your shit. Look, we already immortal. We don't want to come back like that. He's like, you know what? Me neither. So he destroys his cerebral thing that can keep his memories and bring him back. And it was also Storm's also. So Magneto and Storm have no way to bring themselves back anymore. It's done. They're like, look, if we gonna rule on Krakoa, on Mars, we're gonna live like y'all live. And if we die, that's it. And the reason I'm doing that because I'm scared of what I might be if I live forever, what I might turn into. But I don't fear death. And that's it. And Sunspot does some bullshit. And he recruits that dude to Mars, and that's it. So, it's okay. It's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Light week, yo.
Yeah, light week. I mean, it's the end of the month. They just dump anything out there, so they don't care. So yeah.
So what's the give it a rating, yo?
3 out of 5. I get what they were trying to do. The name of the story is 3 Stories of Death. So Magneto has Story of Death because they don't think he should be on the council if he can't die. Storm was telling the death of rebirth because we're just gonna have an immortal emperor that is in the X-Men back pocket in your thing. And Sunspot was telling the Story of Death also that I didn't really care about. So it's whatever. Honestly, the X-Men just went downhill after Hickman left. I know everybody like, oh, no. Hickman, I was sold on the X-Men because of Hickman. If Hickman ain't there, why am I here? Because you're telling half-ass stories that Hickman set up. So, yeah. So that's my thing.
All right. Well, last book I got is BRZRKR #9.
Okay. This that Keanu Reeves story.
The Keanu Reeves book that he is helping writing with Matt Kint.
Did he already sell the script? Sell the book to
Netflix
know. Or some shit?
I'm sure, probably. But this is this is about his very ultra violent story about some immortal warrior who's been alive for 100,000 years since the Ice Age, and has been working for the government as basically a super soldier, and goes on suicide squad missions and just he's a government tool, a government weapon. They've been doing experiments on him. They even cloned him. And in this one, they're trying
that part. I didn't know they cloned him.
Yeah, they cloned him. Yeah, this has been going on about a year now, year and a half maybe. It's #9. It doesn't come out every month, but yeah, this is the latest issue. I guess this is the beginning of the final story arc. So this is 9 out of 12. And this one, he's in some sort of set. The government has him in this. What was it? The sensory deprivation chamber, and his soul, or whatever, his essence, travels back to the beginning of time, where he meets his father, who was a lightning god or whatever. Because that's what, back in the Ice Age or whatever, he belonged to some Viking tribe or whatever, some barbarian tribe.
But is he not older than that?
Yeah, and then his mom got struck by lightning, and then she became pregnant with him, and he, basically grew up to be this ultimate
intervention.
Grew up to be this unstoppable immortal warrior who's just been living all these hundreds of thousands of years. So yeah, he kind of travels through. It's very Cosmo and esoteric and almost like Silver Surfer, where his soul goes through space and meets his father, who's this lightning star god and all this weird shit, and somehow transfers the power to the woman scientist that's working on him. I don't know. It's really weird shit going on. Very sci-fi. It's less.
Okay, so it's not a book of just him just killing people for 50 pages.
There was
it's actually a story. Okay.
Yeah, there was a good amount of violence in this book, but yeah, there is an actual sci-fi
lore mythology
going on. Yeah, with his origin story.
The way you make it sound, it's making it sound like Thor is his dad.
Pretty much, yeah. Thor is his dad, and he's finding out his origin. So yeah, it's still pretty cool. It's still pretty violent, but this is a weird issue. So I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5, and I've been on it since, I've read it this far, so I'm, I might as well finish it. But yeah, it's very violent, not for kids, not safe for work, and it's just getting really weird and sci-fi. So.
Okay, wasn't expecting that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you know what, Eli, I'm gonna do the retro book. I'm gonna do it.
All right.
Okay. So like I said, I want to do a Captain America story, but it's not a Captain America book. Sorry, it's an X-Men book. but Captain America is in it. This is a story because I've wanted to do this book for a while. It's actually the story of the first time that Wolverine and Captain America met for the first time. So
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this book has been retconned and redone and all this stuff like that and ignored, but doesn't matter. This is the first time it happened in the comics, like back in the 90s. So, Black Widow's in the book too. So yeah. She plays a crucial part in it. So it's actually two stories going back and forth, like Captain America in the past and Black Widow in the present. So we're just gonna jump into it, and the book just starts off right into it. It's set in Madripoor, 1941. Captain America is jumping into it, and he is fighting ninjas, even though he didn't even know what ninjas are, because 1941. But he's beating the shit out of them. And the reason he's fighting because this Russian guy right here, they're attacking him. He's like, I can't let this Russian guy get down, die. So Captain America beat him. But these guys are beating the shit out of him. So Captain America took these guys in, so he's like, these guys in pajamas kicking my ass. What the fuck's going on? One slash him in the back, take him down. We do want to understand that, remember, when Captain America first started off, it's been always started, he's not as good as he was back then as he is now. So yeah, you put ninjas in front of him now, he'd take him out. Back then, get the shit kicked out of him, Meanwhile, that Russian guys is like, no, don't kill him, and meanwhile, because this is an X-Men book, a mysterious stranger shows up and says Captain America. He like, look here, Genin, get the hell out of here. And Genin, I don't know if Chris Claremont just saw the word noted, but it basically means like lower rank ninja,
Okay.
And they were like, another round-eyed dog in here, say another white guy is here to just do some shit, and they were like, he knows we need to kill him, and then it's going to work. And yes, it is Wolverine. Wolverine shows up and kicks the shit out of these ninjas also. And Captain America stands, he like, thanks. And Captain America stands up and beats shit out of him also. So now Wolverine and Cap together is no match. Keep in mind, this is old school Wolverine before Weapon X and before the retcon where he had bones. So he has no claws or nothing. He's just fighting. No animated skilling, nothing like that. Wolverine is smoking a cigar. This is before Marvel put a ban on their superheroes smoking, and basically just talking to him. And he's like, how you doing? My name is Captain America. You're like, yeah, I kind of figured it out. Could you wear something more stealth-like to make you don't stick out like that if you're going to fight ninjas? You're like, I don't do that. I'm Captain America. I am a symbol. You're like, well, I'm not a symbol. I'm just a man. My name is Logan. So Captain America and Logan meet for the first time in Madripoor, 1941. I don't know the timeline. I'm thinking this is before World War II, after World War II, whatever. Right in time, But Wolverine wasn't in the war because he's Canadian. So yeah, Canadian in the war. Present time, Black Widow is also fighting ninjas, but she knows who the ninjas are. She realized, but the ninjas are too much for her, so she's like, "Fuck it, I'm getting the fuck up out of here." So she tried to run, and they chain her up and slam her down to the ground, and they got her. She can't go anywhere. And so she's just like, okay, well, if you're gonna come for me, well, I got something waiting for you. And she does her widow sting, but before she do that, in the background, they hear that snicked, and basically the hands start shitting their pants. They like, oh shit, you know what that means? And it's Jubilee. Now, around this time, Jubilee is basically Robin. She just goes everywhere Wolverine is, and she's just like, dare to just say how cool Wolverine is. So she just throws fireworks at him and shit like that, blinds them. Psylocke is there also, who actually used to be an ex-hand member, and they're like, oh, it's the traitor.
Is this Jim Lee drawing this? Or
this is Jim. Yo, yeah, you can tell this is Jim Lee drawing this. So they look at her, it's the traitor, Psylocke. But Psylocke can kick their ass, even though Jubilee's doing her fireworks bullshit. She's fighting them with her eyes closed, but she can do that because she's like psychically, mentally seeing where they are, so she'll kick the shit out of them, And as Wolverine showed, he like, wait, didn't I tell y'all a long time ago, get the fuck out of Madripoor? He like, the hand is not welcome in Madripoor, and Wolverine just goes to work on him, like he always does. Psylocke goes to work on him, stuff like that, and Black Widow's just like, thank you, Wolverine, you saved me again. But that's something you always do, don't you? And then she passes out, and they take her, and he takes her back to wherever. Cut back to 1941. Wolverine is having a beer with Captain America, and he runs in and he bumps into this big Nazi, Baron Strucker, and the Nazi just like, do you know who you bumped into? He's like, yeah, somebody was in my way, and he was like, you were gonna apologize, you're gonna apologize to Baron von Strucker right now, and then you're gonna leave. And Wolverine's like, what if I don't? You're like, well, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you right now. You're like, okay, well, let's go.
You're
And
forced to
that's
thrash you.
I will thrash you. And that's when the owner of the bar, Sarah, shows up, and she's just like, y'all ain't doing this shit. And she just like, don't do that. So everybody chills out, and everybody goes where they're supposed to go. And she's just like, Wolverine, do this shit again, I'm gonna throw you at my bar. And as Wolverine sits down with Captain America and this guy. This guy name is Ivan Petrovich. He's actually a major player in the Marvel comics, but you're not gonna see him in the MCU. And I'll tell you in a second why you won't see him in the MCU. And basically the reason they're here, Ivan and Cap are basically looking at Wolverine, just like, okay, we understand why we're here because we're here fighting Nazis. Why are you here? He's like, I'm here because the Hand showed up. Anytime the Hand shows up, obviously some bad shit going on. So if the Hand are here and Nazi, and I just ran into a Nazi named Baron von Strucker here on Madripoor. If ninjas and Nazis are teaming up together, they can't be a good thing. He like, and I got to figure out why the reason they're teaming up. And Ivan tells him, oh yeah, I can tell you why they're teaming up. Because they kidnapped a girl I was taking care of, Natasha Romanoff. So that's where Black Widow comes in hand. So yes, she, for people who don't know this, Black Widow is also old as fuck also. But they kind of cut that out of there. So Black Widow wakes up. She sees Wolverine. She tries to attack him, but Wolverine had already took all her weapons and shit and her clothes, but gave her lingerie to lounge around in. So nice of him. And then she like, how you feel? And then Black Widow hugs him. And she says in Russian, thank you, little uncle. And she like, quit talking to Russian, Natasha. I don't understand Russian. And that's when Jubilee's just like, why is it every time we run into an old buddy of Wolverine, it's always some drop dead, gorgeous supermodel looking chick, and Cyclops is like, look, don't worry about that. Let's talk about it. So Jubilee got Black Widow on one side, Psylocke on one side, and she's looking. And I didn't notice this until now. When I read this book back then, I didn't notice it. But Jubilee looks at them, looks under her shirt, and then gets mad because she realized she ain't packing what they packing. And then she just like, okay, so the same thing is happening in today's time also. The Hand is teaming up with the Strucker twins. So ninjas and Nazis are teaming up together again. And that's when Wolverine's like, you think they're going to do what they did last time? Well, they might. Well, let's go get them. Just find out what's going on. So we cut back to 1941, past time. Like I said, the stories are going back and forth. And so the Nazis are driving and Wolverine is standing in front of them. They're just like, oh, that's that American from the bar where he just sealed his fate. And Wolverine just jumps right at him. He's just like, funny thing, bub. I was about to say the same thing about you. Oh, and another thing, I'm Canadian. I'm not American. So Natasha is girl Natasha is in the car and they're trying to protect her. And Captain America's like, what's wrong with him? He think he's some kind of Superman? I can say the same thing about you, Cap. Anyway, so the Nazis just shoot in the car. They're like, we can't have the girl, you can't have it either. So Ivan shoots the Nazi, goes in there, and he sees Wolverine protecting Natasha. He's bothered, even though he shot the shit. So they just assume Wolverine's dead. So they just leave. He slumped in the car and shit like that. They're like, okay, can't go back to the bar. Let's go back to the American consulate, where we're technically on American soil in Madripoor. So they go there and they talk to the senator. And it turns out he's teamed up with Baron von Strucker. And they walk right into a trap. So, we find that they shake down this guy named Soong, whatever like that. And they basically tell him where the Strucker twins. And of course, he tells them otherwise Wolverine gonna chop him up. We cut back to the present time, and they're saying, okay, so why is it an American consulate turned traitor and joining the Nazis? He like, the reason we're joining the Nazis is because the Nazis promised us they would get rid of the communists. So, and plus, if we team up with the Nazis, they're gonna carve up the nation, and we'll be in there. So we'll get the New World, Germany will get the Old World, like Europe and Africa, and Japan will get the Pacific. It's a perfect world, So they bring Natasha in. They were like, we heard that you've been trained in martial arts, and we're going to use one of the Russians to become our new head assassin. So they give a weapon, and like, the first thing I want you to do is kill your the guy that's taking care of you right now. So we go to the Strucker twins and Matsu, who's one of the head of the things right now. Oh, and you got Psylocke and Black Widow undercover as tonight's entertainment. And they're just standing there like, oh shit, look at these girls. Yeah, he came through with these girls tonight. Meanwhile, Jubilee's in the back pretending like she's delivering food. They're like, oh, where you want to drop this food at? He's like, yeah, take that shit over there somewhere. Just get out of my way, you know. So they looking at her and they just stand at them girls, and Jubilee's just like, see, that's the problem with you guys right now. All you gotta do is just shake a little ass in front of you, and you don't pay attention to anything. So she like wiggling when they're not paying attention. Meanwhile, they don't see Wolverine sneaking up on them behind them. And he's just like, hey, bub, got a light? And of course, Jubilee does some splash shit. And that's when, you know, they kick the shit out of everybody on the boat, stuff like that. And we come back to time. So Natasha, little girl Natasha, is about to chop the head off Ivan. But before she does it, Wolverine chops her sword and keeps it going and chops the head off of the head of the hand at the time. So they freeze Captain America and Ivan. Is it like, you know, you just killed their boss, right? They're like, yeah, and you know we got to fight our way out of this. They're like, yeah, and let's fight our way out. So they go to work and they fight their way out of it. So they pretty much
just Forge. Who is that?
That's no, that's Ivan coming on the right. Yeah, it's Ivan. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So anyway, they fight the way out. They're on the run from the Nazis. They find a plane. They got a plane. They're taking this to Singapore. So they drop off Captain America, Ivan, Natasha, and they get out of there, you know. And right before they leave, you know, Natasha calls them, thank you, little uncle, you know, before she leaves. And that's when Captain America says, I'm sorry, Logan, but to break up this team up between us. And Wolverine's just like, well, that's cool, because I don't do sidekicks. And Cap was like, wait a minute, I meant you were gonna be mine. Never mind. Have a good day, Logan. And they leave, and that's it. I mean, we cut back to the present day X-Men. They tied up the Strucker twins and the Hand. But it turns out the people they were looking for, that ain't them. It was a whole smokescreen thing, and they got away from them. So, yeah, this is a storyline that's supposed to pick up the next X-Men book that I don't think I read, but whatever. That's going on with that one. So that's the story. Captain America, Wolverine, and technically Black Widow all met at the same time back in World War II. I thought for some reason Magneto was in the story, but he's not in the story. So I don't know. Maybe show up later on. That's probably where the retcon came in from. So yeah. Yeah, so that's all I got. So
that's all I got.
Yeah, like I said, it was a light week. Anytime it's at the end of month, it's like that. That's just how it is. We just got to just scrape up, just do whatever we can. Listen as long as you like, share, subscribe. Like I said, next week we have Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'll talk about how good it is or how bad it is, one or the other. I don't know, you know. And how different. I can't talk about how different it is from the comic because I hadn't read the comic, and I'm not going to. So I'm not going to do some kind of speed run. I got too much.
I did read some of that Jason Aaron stuff with God or what's his name? Gore. This is the God Butcher or whatever.
Gore the God Butcher. Yeah.
Yeah. I did read some of that, but I didn't read any of the Jane Foster Thor shit.
He did all that. Yeah. He like I said, he's still going. He's still writing that Jane Foster shit. So yeah. Yeah, but we'll figure it out, and I'm pretty sure some other stuff will go in. We may talk about the Boys season finale. That'll happen.
Oh yeah.
So we have stuff for next week. We'll see how it goes. Mm-hmm. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We talk to you guys next week. Same bully time, same bully channel.